I walked up to security in the cruise terminal and showed the officers my joining papers, where they handed me my Laminex, and I walked up the gangway onto the ship. I walked along the M1 corridor to the crew office to sign on to the crew manifest. There wasn't a huge crew turnaround, and there wasn't a queue at all at the crew office. I went up to the window with my joining documents, dumped my rucksack on the floor and handed over my passport and my discharge book with a copy of my contract, then signed the book that was handed to me by the crew manager. "I have a message for you," the crew manager said. "Go on," I said. The crew manager went on to say, "The entertainment manager urgently wants to talk to you." He handed me the phone and I dialed up the entertainment office. "Ah, you're back on board," said the entertainment manager. "Pop along to the office. I need a closed-door conversation with you." "Okay," I said, and the entertainment manager hung up the phone. I picked up my rucksack and began to walk along the M1. I left the corridor and entered the passenger area on deck 4. I went through the hidden door into the Warren area and out through the shoppy corridor. I came to the crew lift and pressed the call button. The lift arrived. I stepped in and pressed deck 6. The lift doors closed and took me up 2 decks. The doors opened and I came out. I walked along the tech corridor and walked through to backstage, out through the auditorium and down the entertainment corridor to the office. The office was all but empty. It was just the entertainment manager in here, and he was sat at his desk. I went inside and closed the door behind me. "Mr. Collis, please take your bag off and take a seat." He gestured for me to sit down, and I dumped my bag on the floor and sat down. "I take it you know there's a new captain," said the entertainment manager. I nodded. "Yes. I heard he's a bit of a reputation for being a bit trigger-happy with the old breathalyzer." "So you've heard his reputation," said the entertainment manager. "It turns out that he has heard your reputation as well." "Oh, that's nice," I said. "It's a small fleet and I was bound to be known by quite a few people by reputation." I had a dirty grin on my face. "So why am I here?" The entertainment manager hesitated, then went on to say, "He has marked your card. He has made it known that your sacking would be a great prize." "Well, that's nice to feel so wanted." "This isn't a joking matter," said the entertainment manager. "He really wants to make an example out of you. I pride myself on being a great protector of my crew, but there is only so much I can do when the captain is out for someone. Now, please, can you keep a low profile of this contract? Because it would be a shame if you became a casualty of fun times." I looked at the entertainment manager and I mulled over my response. Now this was becoming a bit of a habit, being given some friendly advice at the start of a contract, and now it was the new captain that was after me. "I really wish you hadn't have told me," I said. "It feels like the gauntlet has been slapped on my face and I feel like it's a challenge." The entertainment manager cut me a look. "Please stay out of the trouble." He slid me over a brown envelope which was my welcome on board pack. Inside was the usual old crap that I never bothered to read, and it had my cabin key card. "All I can say is, I'll do my best," I said as I took the possession of the envelope. I shook the entertainment manager's hand and stood up and picked up my rucksack. "Be sure that you do," said the entertainment manager as I walked out the door. As I walked back through the auditorium, I began to curse and swear out loud. "Fucking prick." Not towards the entertainment manager, but towards the captain. "Who the fuck does he think he is? Fucking wanker." I walked backstage and booted an empty bucket that was left in the wings across the stage. I walked through the technician corridor and down to my cabin. I opened up the door and went inside, kicking the bulkhead as I went inside the cabin. "Fucking cunt," I shouted. I dropped my rucksack to the floor and went over to my bed. I lifted the mattress and removed the wooden block. Underneath was my stash of fags and booze. I pulled out a sleeve of cigarettes and threw them onto my desk. I pulled out a bottle of rum and a handful of mixers, dropped the wooden block and then dumped the mattress down into position. I walked over to my desk, slammed the bottle of rum down so hard it made an almighty thud. I slammed some tins of cola onto the desk and pulled the chair out and sat down. I reached for a clean glass, then cracked open a bottle of rum and began to pour. The glass was half full of rum. Then I topped it up with some warm coke. I placed the rest of the tins in the fridge and began to have a nice calm swig on my drink. I opened up the sleeve of cigarettes, pulled out a packet and pulled out a cigarette and lit it. After a few drags on my cigarette and a few good gulps of my drink, I began to feel calmer. My pager went off. I looked around and found it on a small surface next to my bed. Walked over and picked it up. It was the pianist's cabin. Sweet, he wasn't ashore. I picked up the phone and dialed up. "You cunt," said the pianist. "I'm coming to yours. I've got something I need to say to you. Is it about the wank of a new captain having my cards marked by any chance? I said. Yeah, said the pianist. Yeah, I've already found out, I said. As soon as I stepped foot on the ship, I was pulled into the fucking office. That's bang out of order, said the pianist. I'll be at yours in about 5 minutes. Cool, I said. I'll have one ready for you. I hung up the phone and picked up another glass. I tipped a nice amount of rum into it and topped it up with some coke. The pianist turned up just shy of 5 minutes later. He banged on the door, so I opened it up and handed him his drink. So, what are you going to do? Said the pianist. I looked him square in the eyes and smiled. This cunt has thrown me the gauntlet, so I accept his fucking challenge. I took a swig from my glass. I'm going to throw the full-scale Master Station X party tonight. I took another gulp from the glass. I'm going to throw a Master Station X party every fucking night of this cruise. I downed the rest of my drink, then immediately poured a reload. I'm going to push my luck harder than I've ever pushed it. I'm going to drink and whore myself into a new stage of evolution. This captain thinks he's seen everything. Well, my friend, this cunt hasn't seen anything yet. I'm going to do this right under his nose. I'm going to go on a mission to get his bridge officers trashed. I'm going to go for broke, motherfucker. I stood up and necked half of my drink. Challenge accepted, motherfucker, I shouted. The pianist clinked his glass to mine. Good on you, you cunt, said the pianist. Cheers, fucker. Cheers indeed, I said as I sat down. I lit another cigarette and sipped from my glass once more. After dinner, I went back to the pianist's cabin for our after-dinner round of drinks. Between us, we had nearly polished off a bottle of vodka. The pianist went up to the piano bar in the atrium to do his first set, while I went up to the control room in the theatre to operate the welcome aboard show for the passengers. I was the first in my team to get into position, as per usual. I opened up the control room door and walked over to my lighting desk. I was doing my pre-show checks. Out of the corner of my eye, I spotted the captain on the far side of the control room. No fucking way. This was absurd. This cunt of a captain was here for me. He wasn't here just to watch the show. He was here to see how trashed I was and laying in wait for me to fuck up in any way so he would have an excuse to have the breathalyzer on me. This wasn't going to happen. Not on his terms. I wasn't going to let that happen. By rights, I could have quoted him the fleet regulation and he would have had to leave, but I had a better idea. I was going to throw the gauntlet back down at him, in his face. I left my position and walked over to the captain, held out my hand and offered him a handshake. Good evening, Captain, I said. Please, make yourself at home for this evening's show. Please feel free to come back here any time you want to watch a show. The captain looked at me and shook my hand. Thank you, said the captain. It's better in here, isn't it? I feel I can relax in here so I can enjoy the show without the passengers trying to talk to me. Trust me, sir, you would not regret sitting here. You've got the best vantage point of the stage, and you're so right. No one would disturb you in here, and you can slip in and out easily without anyone noticing you. Once again, sir, please feel free to just stop by at any time you want. The captain thanked me and I walked back to my control point. I sat on my chair and put my headset on, kicked off my shoes and rested my feet on the desk ready to operate the show. Challenge accepted.